Hello. No, that's not right. Let's start again. Hello, and welcome to episode 86. Sounds about right. Of Prog Review. And if you haven't read the description, this is the one you've all been waiting for. It's Clockwork Angels by Rush. Now, before I review the album, I just want to take this opportunity to recommend the fan pack that was released in the UK. I know the copies are scarce, but if you've got a Tesco's or a Sainsbury's or another brand of supermarket, rush out and buy your copy now, because the fan pack is worth the extra dosh. Very good money. It certainly adds value for money to those buying the album, and it comes in a format that make the most jaded and cynical. A jaded and cynical Rush fan? There can't be such a thing. You all love Rush. You love them. But anyway, it'll make the most cynical and jaded Rush fan moist in the gusset area. Oh yes. I recommend it. So, this is supposed to be a concept album, and, it should be interesting. So, I don't know. I'll give it a go. The album opens with Caravan, but it doesn't sound anything like Caravan. No, not that kind of caravan. It's about a caravan with the wheels, I think. I don't know. But anyway, it sounds really dated to these ears. It sounds more like heavy rock from a couple of decades ago, but it tears off at a good pace. And Geddy Lee's voice seems to be coming out of his boots these days. I mean, what happened? Did his balls finally drop? I don't know. Yeah, it's a good functional head nodder, but it's incredibly dense. It's like that. That's what it's good for. But I'm sure you guys would have loved it. This is followed up by BU2B. BU2B. To be you be or not to be. And this is an incredibly dense track again. Everything's like... Only 2 tracks in, and I'm finding my ears under assault again. And it's like a dull rumble with no definition in the frequencies. And so I realise that this is going to be another boxy affair again. And it's lacking any real bottom or top EQ, and again, whoever produced this record should be taken outside and firmly fucking horsewhipped. I mean that. Then we're on to the title track, and it starts off interestingly enough, and then the noise sludge begins, and any atmosphere that had been built up, it's gone. So it's going to be one of those albums again. It reminds me of that other one that sounded awful. Was it Power Windows? Was that the one that I moaned about? And again, it's one of those albums, it's going to move at one speed, isn't it? And then, no, we break out of the nonsense for some skittering drums. Skittering drums, even. Jangling guitars and the vocal. But this is, the good bit's short-lived, because we're back to that sonic shitfest again. Ouch. I quite like the guitar solo at the 4-minute 30 mark, but the production just seems to bury any goodness under a layer of... Ugh. I know it really is a terrible way to treat music, if you ask me. I don't know how they choose these producers, but I think they made a boo-boo on this one. The Anarchist. Oh yeah, The Anarchist begins with some great drum work and has a suitably excellent chugging bass line, but the lyrics again buried under a terrible sonic soup. I like parts of it, but it's all a bit samey, isn't it? Then we have some fairground noises. Come and get a big one. That's good. I could do that for a living. And we're into carnies now. I think in America it's slang for carnival. Carnival. We call it the fairground. Do you have the fairground? Or is it all carnivals? It's fairground over here. That's the difference. 2 countries divided by a common language. Look that quote up. The problem is this track doesn't sound that different from the one I just listened to. And wait a minute, I'm thinking, this is all sounding the same. Do I need my ears syringed, or does this just sound the same. And then I'm beginning to worry, fuck me, this is over an hour in length. Am I going to make it through? I'm not going to make it through to the end. I start to panic. I do. Tears are welling up in my eyes. But, you know. Halo Effect is the love song of sorts on this album. And it's where, as far as I can gather, the protagonist falls in love with a woman with wings on her feet. Sounds like Apollo to me. Is that right? Apollo? It was Apollo had the wings on her feet. Or was it Mercury? Or was he had the wings on the hat? Oh, it doesn't matter, does it? You'll all correct me. That's the great thing about the internet, is you can make a cock up and everyone will correct you in the comments box. You don't need to worry about getting things wrong. Yeah? Anyway, he falls for this freak of a circus performer. And for a while, my poor ears, lovely ears, they get some respite from the noise. And it starts off nice enough with some acoustic guitar. But then, sure enough, we head back into hard rock territory. Musically, it's a bit cliche doing the soft loud routine. But at this point, it's the least annoying track on the album. And then we join Esteban and Mendoza as they set off for the mysterious cities of gold. That's wrong, isn't it? It's wrong, yeah? Well, what's it called then? 7 Cities of Gold. Silly me. A schoolboy error. It begins sounding like Spinal Tap's Big Bottom. Boom, 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 boom. Before heading off into Mystical Whimsy. That's the name of their next album, you know. Mystical Whimsy. And I'm surprised that they've mixed Geddy Lee's vocals so low on this. I mean, I was having trouble hearing him. And I must admit to enjoying the bass playing. But then, hey, that's the only thing that really ever gets me through these Rush albums is Geddy Lee's bass playing. It ain't his fucking singing. But it's okay, I suppose. I didn't totally hate the song, even though it does. A lot of this stuff sounds very old-fashioned. Now, before I'm going to go any further, I usually review these albums on a pair of cans, you know, on headphones. As I do these reviews, I write them or record them late at night. Now, I actually listened to this in the afternoon. Well, no, I listened to it and then I thought, well, what I'll do in the afternoon is I'll give it a go out the old speakeroos. And I played it through my stereo monitors and the album immediately sounded better. But that's not a good thing, because it should sound okay no matter how you listen to it. It should sound good in the car, on your speakers, on a hi-fi, on your headphones. It should be universal. So, you know, that kind of concerns me that whoever mixed this only did it out of the monitors and they'd never bothered to do work on a decent headphone mix. But hey, what do I know? Back to the review. Then The Wreckers is more earnest story rock, but the lyrical hook is pretty good on this, and I enjoyed the rhythm guitar, and I think, you know, with some different production, the song could be at least 1,000,000 times better than it is. Again, I do think there are some good pieces in here, but they just done it wrong. You know, they could have just approached it a bit differently. But again, what do I know? Now, I'd heard Headlong Flight when it was streamed on the interwebs. You know, it's a single, and I was impressed with what I'd heard, and it was one of the reasons why I brought the fan back in for review. And I thought it was interesting enough. It's quite a grungy old tune. I don't know why I like it at all. I shouldn't like it because it's kind of hallmark Rush. But I think after my epic Rush listening session, it sounded like a breath of fresh air, because it didn't really sound like Rush at all. It did and it didn't. It was like, I can recognise the boat. Yeah. But I liked the bit where it goes, "I've stoked the fire on the big steel wheels." I just love that vocal hook. I just thought it was really good. So there you go. Again, this could have sounded a lot better, but it sounds so small. And whoever did it needed to EQ, put some EQ on it to enhance the upper frequencies, just to give them a bit of zing. In fact, the whole album just needs a little bit more zing. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pause this, because this is a long album. This is 66 minutes, and I've written a lot, and I'm getting up to 9 minutes. I'm just going to do my wavy hand thing and restart the camera, because I've only got 12 minutes and I don't want to run out. And next thing, just bear with me, all right? This won't hurt. This won't hurt at all. That's what I say to all the girls, all right? And we're back. I told you it wouldn't hurt, didn't I? You can trust me. Trust me. Yeah, so, headline for I should put my teeth back in. Headlong Flight is a bit of a guilty pleasure. It's not that bad. Then we've got, was it BU2B2? Why did I do this? BU2B2. I'm sure it's meant to mean something. Is it a clue? What is it? Anyway, it's a nice departure because it doesn't want to take a big steaming shit in my ears. Instead, we have nice gentle strings and a plaintive vocal from Mr. Lee himself, and alas, it's all gone too quick because it slams us back into Wish Them Well, which is a classic Rush song, and I don't need to say any more than that, really. I don't like it, but it's classic Rush, so there. Huzzah! Yeah! Do you know why I'm happy? Yeah, because we've reached the final track of the album, and my ordeal is nearly complete. The Garden, it starts gently, but it isn't long before we've got our lighters held aloft as the band rocks out into full power ballad mode. Actually, it's a bit unfair. It's probably the most interesting track of the album because the band actually do something different on this track. Rather than rocking their balls off for 6 minutes, there are different passages that they work through, and it goes from quiet to loud and quiet, but there's different textures, there's different tones. It kept me interested, it was a good track. And I think it's probably the strongest song on the album. I think it's the best song. And if only there was more light and shade like this, throughout the other 66 minutes, it's a shame. But they left the best till last. That's the only consolation. Now, again, my problem with this album goes back to that age-old problem that Rush seems to have of producing songs of the same tone, speed and attitude and variety. It's great if you like listening to great slabs of pulsing rock, but for a satisfying album, it doesn't make it, does it? It doesn't cut the mustard. You need the light and the shade, you need the varying textures, unless you're a punk band or someone that can, I don't know. But then punk bands only tend to do albums of about 35 minutes, so. And then the f***ing battery ran out. So excuse me. What a lack of professionalism. Also, let's be honest, the production absolutely stinks on this album. The mix lacks definition, sounds muddy in place, and exists in a very narrow sound spectrum, losing some bottom and a lot of top end, rendering the whole thing rather unpalatable. As for this being a concept album, well, let's just say they don't make them like they used to, eh? And it's too long, by about 20 minutes. Again, the whole let's fill up a CD philosophy rears its ugly head, and you just go, nah. Yeah. So, let's do a rating. Let's rate this mother, huh? Let's rate it. I'm going to rate it real good. My rating is 4 steel wheels out of 5. 4 out of 5? No, hold on, puppy. Hold on. 4 steel wheels out of 5 for the fan pack. See what I did there? The old switcheroo. Yeah, gotcha. Which I think, it's a good package. I think it's quite good having the magazine with the album. I think, if you're a fan, you're going to enjoy reading it and looking at the pictures. It enhances your enjoyment of the record. I think the whole fan pack idea is very good. I think they should do more albums. They probably will do now. Like I said, one dying industry gets into bed wearily with another to, create this bastard offspring. But, it's not too bad. But for the album itself, the album itself, I'm giving it a lazy 2.5 steamed punks. That's 2.5 steamed punks. out of 5 because, you know, let's be honest, it's a bit shit. It is, it's a bit shit. With a better producer and a heck of a lot of self-restraint, this could have been a lot better, boys. Come on. You could have done this. This could have been a really good album. Oh, and also if the actual concept would have been half decent and the songs had melodies and it was about 40 minutes long. I like the artwork though. Have you noticed the album? The clock spells out 21:12 on the clock. Yeah, it's 21 minutes past 9, which is 2100 hours. 2100 hours past 12, 2112. Bet you didn't notice that, did you? Yeah. See, I'm paying attention. I'm watching you. I'm watching you all. Oh, yeah. Anyway, my name's been Darren Locke, and I'm sure someone slipped something in me cocoa. I don't know. Sorry about the haphazard nature of this production. I'll try and get it all in one go next time. Try and do it all at once. And I really have been burbling on about, should I call it Clockwork Oranges? I really want to call it Clockwork Oranges. It just wants to fall off my tongue. No, it's Clockwork Angels by The Rush. The magnificent The Rush. And I can't wait for their next album. I really can't. So, you know, thumbs on it. You get it. I'm fed up with saying it. It's boring. It's boring now. And only one more thing. Say, get it right, please. Let me get it right. There's only one more thing to say. Only one more thing to say. There's only one more thing to say. There's only one. There must be a better way of saying it. Maybe I should just say, prog on.